What's going on, everybody? Darth Morley here, and you know what we're doing today. We're watching some more scary videos, so without further ado, let's do this. Right, today we are watching the scariest videos found online by Frostmare TV. Go and subscribe. And just want to say before we start, if I give the impression that I'm coming at this from like a debunking angle, that's not true at all, because I know some of this stuff is real, because I've experienced it myself, and that's why I get so annoyed with the fakers, and I just call it how I see it. So let's watch and see what we see today.
Emmanuel sent me this recording of a father who had a local baby monitor hooked up to the room of his two children. He noticed that the two were always talking to somebody in the room, which he found odd.
That is pretty odd.
Him documenting a strange shape of a child that apparently seems to communicate with his little children.
Pretty legit. But children definitely do pick up on more things.
Eerie, isn't it?
Strange.
Following recording was shared by Random Doge 47, and she tells us, I went to the Heartwood Insane Asylum in the UK and captured something peeking out of the left window and moving away to the left side. The whole building is locked and the lower floor windows are far too high to reach. And even if someone got inside, the whole upper floors are collapsed. So this is impossible. Let's take a look.
Quick, put the spliff out. There's some weird birds outside, mate. Although, probably isn't if the top floors collapse.
Now, the girl and her friend are both noticing that there seemed to be somebody standing in the top left window, and I would agree, it certainly looks that way. It is also noticeable how this person or thing just moves towards the left. It would almost look like this thing is floating though, and not taking steps. Could that be so? Are we witnessing
how collapsed are the floors? Because
just visiting this old building.
Yeah, like
that lost their life there, or was it just a regular person after all?
Yeah, I mean, I would lean regular person with that. Like, how collapsed are the upstairs floors? Because I've seen people, like graffiti artists and stuff, get into some crazy positions.
Kent was investigating the house one night while his family was out. He heard really odd noises stemming from the bedroom. What follows is one of the most iconic scenes that he could ever record on his camera.
Oh mate, it's this guy. I don't know how I feel about this guy's stuff. Like, it seems legit, but it's too good. Fuck that, mate. Yeah. See, he's got tons of footage of this thing as well. I've seen loads of this guy's videos.
Can you make this go off?
And then the entity appears to come closer towards him.
Can you stop it?
In case you're not aware,
So I'm trying to like look in the reflection of the doorknobs, see if you can see anything.
The EMF meter will blink.
Are you right here? Stay back up from me.
Seemingly nervous, he then captures some unusual movement around the bedding area. almost looks as if something underneath his blanket is moving.
His messed up museum spirit. Okay.
The next video was sent by Eric, and he tells me that it was noticed by a couple of security guards that were working and surveilling an old museum located on Piazza Square in Georgia. There seemed to be something really odd appearing out of thin air.
The hell is that? It's like a cloud. Yeah, that is...
As we see, this floating shape suddenly comes around the corner, throws a shadow, and is then disappearing towards the lower part of the camera. Some people speculate that this merely might have been a bug, but how is it possible that we can follow its
definitely not a
on the
bug.
floor?
Stuff like that I lean more legit, because it just doesn't make sense for anybody to fake anything that weird.
It disappears.
Just doesn't.
I have no
It almost just collapses into nothing, and that's consistent with things I've seen, so...
But we believe that it
that
is more than just a weird bug. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I think that one's probably legit. What it is, I have no bloody idea, but... In the dark.
Hello guys, our first video was sent by Torben, and it features a German explorer with the channel name Lost Place David. This night he ventures to an abandoned building into a local area with his friends to scout out the perimeter for anything interesting. Maybe he could even come across something thrilling. After arriving at the scene, they quickly inspect the area and make an entrance through one of the broken windows. David has lots of experience with abandoned and broken down places, and this night he hoped to maybe find some exciting relics from the past. Besides trash, old equipment and even furniture, it doesn't seem to be a lot to write home about though.
You see... fucking hell. Back when I was a young lad, you go walking into abandoned buildings and stuff, it isn't long before the old billa's showing up. These days, apparently, if you can just wander anywhere if you've got a camera, just say, oh yeah, I'm just exploring, mate. Just, investigating. It's fine.
In this case, when David enters the building and is handed the camera, there seems to be something standing in the doorway.
I missed that, mate. What are we looking at? Oh yeah,
Could David
there's
capture
something
a
there.
figure? Maybe it's just a camera artifact.
Could
What's
be.
your thought?
Could be. I don't know, there's not enough to go on there really on that one. Strange, but that's normally how it goes.
Perhaps
You normally only get a
someone
tiny little
captured
glimpse.
that went unnoticed that night. Guess we have to find out in the future. This video features 3 young women who were out on a party night over the weekend. After they had decided
On the lash,
to
mate.
night, they went to their apartment. It appears that something else was with them in the car though.
Doing having a rave. What's that, mate?
Nothing crazy
Dobby?
about these clips, but let's look a bit closer.
Appear to have picked up some sort of house elf, mate. Gremlin.
What exactly got captured here in the back seat? It looks like an odd face to me. Also noticed the orb flying by on the top of the frame.
It kind of looks like one of those little mummy alien things. keep popping up all the time in the bloody news.
I guess this one will remain a mystery.
It's just too blurry. It's the problem. Capture something, it's too blurry. Capture something else, it's too clear. You've got to find that sweet spot.
They're not given much info about the clip. The only details that were shared in the comment section were that these friends were on a house tour of some sorts. They were checking out a relatively old house with tons of backstory concerning paranormal events. One of the females was an empath and apparently saw something in one of the
Of course.
rooms. Interestingly enough, the camera also was able to pick
I mean, I should probably be less skeptical.
It's pretty unsettling. Let's take a
Because
look.
it does happen.
Jesus Christ. What? Oh my god. What, Emily?
Yeah, what is that in the mirror, that reflection?
There seems to be something pretty grim appearing in the mirror in the dark room in the back. Can you see it too?
Yeah, I did see that. That was well clear. For the quality.
Some are certain this was indeed the spirit of a woman, but how do we explain that?
You see, I don't think it's spirits.
One of the spirits that was caught by accident that night.
Not in terms of
roaming the premises.
it being, you know, the dead consciously coming back to do stuff.
Disappears again. Undoubtedly, this appears to be the shape of a woman, but why all of this is unfolding can only be speculated. Is it all just a creepy setup, or was something more sinister unfolding?
That is
in front of
mad.
the camera here. Who knows?
Creature in the Woods,
This
classic.
video was sent by Frank, and he found it on Reddit. Apparently, it was posted by a man who documents a strange creature which many locals believe to be home in the forest, which is close to his hometown. Many nights he tried to take a recording of that thing, and every so often he could hear strange noises stemming from the wooden area. Unfortunately, he was never successful.
It's a
Until
rake.
the following night, the man
Calling it now, it's a
states that he
rake.
was out with his camera,
Always is in the
doing
woods.
another
Strange
investigation,
sounds.
and went
Mimicry.
venturing into the forest,
It's a
as he
rake.
often did. He believed to finally have seen it in front of his camera.
Come on, what are we looking at? Oh, I get.
Now let's take
Oh,
a better
right,
look
yeah,
at that
whoa.
thing. What could this man capture here? Commenters
Oh, look.
suspected to be a skinwalker.
Yeah, people confuse the
Looks a
rake
bit
with the
like
skinwalker.
it,
I think the
right?
skinwalker's different to the rake.
If we look at the skull shape,
I think it's 'cause
and
they
especially
both
the eyes and the
Engage in
mouth,
some sort of
it's
mimicry, but
undoubtedly very similar to the many
Yeah, bro,
sightings
that's-
we've seen of that creature in the past.
run!
Perhaps
Just don't even
it is
fucking
some
stand around
kind
there,
of
mate. Just get the fuck out of
unidentified
there.
How mysterious.
It looks pissed off. Does not look happy. Let's just put it like that. Whatever it is, it's very unhappy. Haunted home.
Now we're gonna take a look at the case of Josh Robillard, who's also living in a supposedly haunted home. Ever since moving in, he's experiencing some really strange
You've got a
events
good deal on it,
unfolding,
mate.
and he's even
I wonder
seeing
why.
terrifying shadow figures every now and then. All of this made him decide to start filming these encounters, and he's capturing them on different cameras that he has placed in his house. He believes that the following is the spirit of a woman.
Well, it's tricking you good then, bruh. Yeah, no, move out, mate. Leave. Don't even go back. Whatever that is, it ain't good. It does seem like reflective surfaces catch things more easily.
Could this really be a shadow woman that is inhabiting his place?
Why though? This is the thing. Like, what is the purpose? They don't have, right, all this stuff never seems to do anything other than mess with you. I mean, that is ridiculous. Like, I hope that's fake, because otherwise you got like a full ass person in your house, mate. You fucking saw that shit, like you would move out immediately. But like, no, I'm gone.
On one of the following nights, he captures it standing right in the living room without noticing it, though. Isn't that terrifying?
Yeah, he watched it back on video after not seeing it, and that's there. Bye,
He
gone.
noticed
See
a
ya.
dark shadow disappearing towards the upper frame of the door.
Yeah, you see that rings true. That's exactly the kind of weird, flowy, like collapsing in on itself sort of movement.
What is that? Can this be human? Many people are sure that this is indeed a paranormal force he's dealing with here. What do you think? Whatever the answer,
Yeah, I've seen
it's
something
pretty
very similar to that.
nightmarish, isn't it?
Which makes the full flipping person apparition in the flipping video that much more terrifying, because the rest of it seems, you know, fairly legit. That's a pretty good clip, to be fair.
This video was captured by a channel called Progetto Paranormal. The owner, Goyo, is a paranormal enthusiast who loves to go on expeditions together with some of
That
his
Valencia
colleagues.
top I saw there.
Today they were documenting an area in the Jalisco region in Mexico, which apparently is a site full of urban legends. There are many disturbing stories about apparitions that are being seen and captured by tourists and locals alike. Local newspapers even report of many people that take a leap of faith there, and besides many injuries, there are of course some tragedies taking place, and it is believed that these incidents could be influenced by evil spirits in the area. Let's take a look.
See, never underestimate the graffiti artists, mate. They get everywhere.
For some reason, this house in particular seems to inhabit a lot of energy. At least that is what Gojo heard when he takes a few minutes to talk to the camera. There is something weird appearing right behind him.
Bien muchachos, pues este es el pueblo abandonado.
What
de
the
la
f-
Gran que-
Nah. Mate, that is horrifying. Oop.
Some people say it looks like the head of a female who's peeking into the frame.
It's a fucking hag, mate.
Other users
Straight
argue
up.
that it might be related to the demon that is dwelling in Mario Lara's party store, which is not too far from the location. Maybe just a fluke. What could Goyo capture this afternoon? Of course there was no trace of any person once they went to check it out. So, just a hoax? Or something really weird?
Probably. Let's hope so.
This video was recorded in front of a house which belonged to an elderly lady. She had passed away a couple of days prior to this recording. Neighbors claimed to have heard unexplained sounds. Some even stated that they saw the lights turning on inside the residence. One morning, a man recorded odd activity on his way to work.
What?
I think it is quite hard to make out.
Oh, it looks kind of like somebody's in the window, but that could just be a weird sort of shadow reflection or
After checking the recording
some
at home though, there was
light.
something else on the tape.
Hmm.
The figure seems to be standing on top of the iron fence.
Yeah, that's... What the
Friends speculated that it could be the Grim Reaper. What do you think?
The bloody Grim Reaper, mate. Well, he's a bit late. He was late and in the wrong bloody place, mate.
The next video was
He didn't have a head.
Urban Explorer, Urbex Hill, who in the two-part video series.
You see, I tend to like Urbex Hill's videos.
Factory. And wouldn't you know it, quite the number of mysterious events were unfolding.
As if I'm right, I think he just does like urban exploring. And he has a lot of videos where no weird shit happens. You see lots of stuff flying around, but in a place like that, you'd expect to see that. Was that something moving past the light, or was that his shadow? Him moving past it?
Did you see that? Some of his viewers see a shadow passing by here. Could that be so?
Yeah, it doesn't. The timing seems I don't know. No, you see, I thought that was his shadow. Definitely thought that one was his shadow as he's moving by. Bloody music, mate. Yeah, well, that was just something fell or was thrown.
Rooms had been moved around, and some odd shadows being captured. He makes it into another room, which seems to be part of the upper floor. And when he pans the camera around in there, something really frightening is being captured. That also wasn't seen at the time.
It seems to be quite a common thing as well, where you capture something on film only you didn't see it at the time. Oh, there's something behind that pillar. They panned round there and there was somebody stood behind the pillar. Yeah, there.
A shadow person seems to be standing next to a pillar, which is extremely creepy. What was going on here?
I mean, it could be, but it could also just be somebody in there. You know, in places like that, you always got to be wary of other people actually being in there, because they could well be. Like I say, no real way to tell with that one. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. As always, have a nice day.